opening for any quotations. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm opening for any quotations to have a company to come and do excellent jobs. I don't want FPM run our gardening. I don't want FPM running our pool. I don't want FPM running our security. I don't want. We need to make sure have the right people running the shows. The carpet and any fix in damage we have, I put everything on hold until we do committee together like I suggested in the last meeting, and I work with Marcella and I work with Carolina. We spent weeks about the carpet, and unfortunately didn't work out because some of the board voted against it. But now it's up to you guys to decide. It's not up to, it's the board has to do with it, whatever the board is gonna be, but it's up to us to make sure we choose the right things for us. Right now I have 7 companies to come and fix and do the carpets, and trust me, they start with 120. I managed to bring it to 60. I managed to bring, so there's a lot of rooms to play and a lot of rooms to have the good company to come and fix. So I have some samples. I'm also receiving a lot of quotation from different companies. This is the most 2 major projects we have. The cooling tower, we cannot wait any longer. I mean, we need to make a decision as a community to fix it as soon as possible. Just to let you know, if this cooling tower breaks down, there's no air system inside the building. There's no air conditions, and it's gonna cause a lot of problems. So this has to be a priority number 1 for us as a community. It doesn't matter who's gonna be the board.
Do you have estimates already?
I already got 2 companies. There's only like 5, 6 companies in the whole Florida state. And the price range is between 90,000 to 100 some change. Only the cooling tower, without counting the crane, without counting the city permit, without counting this stuff has something separate. Those issues has to be addressed, and I have to tell the resident regarding this. Talking about the elevators, we got lucky enough. As everybody know, on February 14, we got a major water damage in the west building. The 3 carts were in the bottom and they were impacted with the damage. There's rust, corrosions, a lot of issue in the company has their own adjuster. They came in with our adjusters and they studied the damage from the 6th floor to the 1st floor. And they determined based on their adjusters, and they awarded the association the following. The first payment came in $200,000 emergency aid to the building, and the second payment came in $75,000. The last settlement was done, I believe, in the beginning of July, and was finally notarized by July 7 or July 9. And the final payment came up to 600 some change. Based on that, the previous board has all the breakdowns, and they have the money where it's supposed to go by the insurance. Remember, guys, this is done by the insurance adjuster of the moving company. Our insurance, our property insurance, plus our adjuster who's fighting for the insurance. This is not like a pick and choose number. This is done through the insurance company. And the association has a deductible of $200,000 of damages that we have to pay. But now, the association insurance fighting with the moving company, so the moving company pay the $200,000, so the association doesn't pay anything. They're working with that. There's 3 inspections done, and there's 1 inspection coming in next week. A lot of people think, oh, we got the money, that's it, let's go do. No, there's a lot of issues who are involved. There's a lot of, they have to come for adjustment, they have to come and see the work, they have to come and do the same information again and again and again.
So basically we don't have the money yet.
We have the money, we got the money, but they divide it based on the damage, like they say, to fix the wall, for example, I'm telling you, to fix the wall and the carpet, it's gonna cost X amount of money. To fix the elevator is gonna cost X amount of money. To pay the the company to come and dry the wall, they have to pay X amount of money. Based on the breakdown of the insurance they give us, they pay the insurance each sectors. And we have to comply with the insurance. We cannot take this money and say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and fix the cooling towers. You cannot do that. It has to show, by the end of the day, it has to show where this money goes, and they're gonna do inspection on that. Right now, the only money was paid on the one we agreed on the previous, before the second election, which is covering the insurance damage of the water company. They can come and dry the walls, make sure there no mold in the buildings. This has to be paid based on the insurance approval. Approved by insurance, this is how much you have to pay this company. And the elevator company is already being done as far as elevator sections. The only money remaining, which big chunk, is for the fixing. Remember, when we say fixing, doesn't mean only the hallway, doesn't mean only painting, doesn't mean only changing the carpet. We have to go on every single unit that being affected. We're talking about 45 to 55 units. We're gonna go on every single unit has a damage of the walls. Make sure the damage where they have every unit, they have record of this damage wall has to be changed. So we have to replace all the drywall. The association available responsible for only drywall only in every unit. We are not responsible for painting. We are not responsible for changing carpet. We are not responsible for changing the wood. Only the association responsible for the drywall. So any drywall in those residents, the association responsible to change it. The one by the insurance adjuster remark, and they have it on the book. And this is you're talking about 45 to 55 units, plus the hallway, plus the carpet, plus the baseboard, plus. At this time, I did not authorize to do any repair until I get the approval from everybody as a community. And as I promised last time in the meeting, I say, I promise you guys, I bring all the samples, I bring all the companies. We have like 7, 8 companies. And whatever company wants to come, we review it and we vote about it as a resident. I have a couple of samples, we can review it later on. We get an idea what color we need to use. The cooling towel, I got 2 companies. They're to replace the whole thing because honestly, you cannot fix it. Restorations and all this stuff is not gonna work. It's all rusted, it's all really in bad shape. So I got 2 companies over here. We can collect more. There's only 5 companies in the areas. We can collect more and we decide. As far as I'm talking about this one, I'm gonna have the election, the last subject, because this is very important so we can be all on the same page. The water damage we already covered. The only thing is being paid for right now is the insurance for the elevators. The water company with the insurance decide to pay them, and also for the adjuster fees, whatever, and remaining balance still holding until we decide which company we're gonna use. And we have to make sure we keep all the receipts. We have to make sure we keep all the invoices, because the insurance is gonna come and do another inspection. On August 7th, there's inspection by the both companies. They're coming to the property again. They're gonna inspect the damage, and they're gonna do a couple inspections. So that's why I didn't touch anything until I wanna make sure I got the green light from the insurance company, and also I wanna make sure you get your approval first. I wanna make sure we have a committee to choose which company we're gonna use. Cooling towel, we covered this one. Now we're gonna go to the parking lot. The parking issues, we're getting a lot of good feedback from the residents. They like the ideas, and this is something we can address it in the new board, whatever new elections also. Just to let you know, and I want to be frankly and honest with you folks. We have our number increased from $330,000 in debt to $530,000 in debt. The reason why? A lot of owners are not paying their dues, plus a lot of units went to foreclosures. So this is something you cannot control. This is something has nothing to do with the board. This is something has nothing to do with the resident. Unfortunately, people went foreclosures. We have a lot of units are being empty right now, went to foreclosure, the bank's taking over. And this is something that we have to make sure you're aware of it, because it's gonna catch up with us later on.
How
Let me
many
tell
is
you-
a lot? How many?
I will give you the detail. I'm waiting for the end of this month. They usually do it bi-monthly, and I will print it and I will have it public record to give you awareness what's going on over here. The banks are taking over a lot of units, and especially in the west buildings, we have a lot, and has nothing to do with us or the board. People, the banks taking over, and it's making it difficult for us to keep up. As far as the parking, we have the people who been with great standing, they're paying their dues on time. I think we should, it's up to you folks. A lot of people agree with it. We're getting a lot of feedback to keep the same thing what we're doing as far as the reserve. The people who has good standing credit, they should be able to renew with no problem. And the people owe money, we'll give the option to the new people to have the option to have the second parking. First come first. The people who existed right now with the current record, they can call in or they can come in before the due date and they can have the new stickers.
When is the due date?
All the information is posted, and if you have good record, you can do it before. You don't have to come at 7 o'clock in the morning, wait in line.
August 25th.
And I think it's fair for the people who pay their dues on time.
What date was this for?
August 25th.
August,
Okay.
if you owe money, I mean, I think it's fair to give the chance to somebody who doesn't owe money and he wants to be on term.
So the people that owes money will not be able to do this, correct?
To renew.
To renew
To
or
renew.
even to get the possibility to get the second garage.
Until they're
Right,
correct.
if they want to pay it off, yeah, pay it off and then,
Exactly.
okay.
¿Por qué que seguir pagando?
If they pay it off, they will have it. I think it's fair for all of us. And people who pay on time, I don't think they need to wait at 7 o'clock in the morning. They can have the chance to go ahead and get it.
Mohammed, there's an issue with these reserved parking. I've been receiving complaints from residents. Scarlett knows, because my husband actually told her. We have a friend of ours who's been he's on top of that, taking pictures. I don't know what's going on, but some people are parking in reserve and have not paid. And
Okay.
the guards are not checking.
Okay, that's something.
That's a major issue with
That's major
security.
issue, and that's why I want to have next point over here. That's my very important point. And Douglas, I will get your point. Go ahead.
Ahora, pienso que no entiendo por qué se están tomando decisiones hoy, si legítimamente no son un board.
Can somebody
Nosotros,
transfer?
¿usted entiende?
Why are we making decisions today? No decisions are going to be made.
There's no decision.
I'm
This
not making
decision
any
was
decision.
made. Decision
And
was
that's the first
made
thing that I
and
told
approved by the last board. So this is existing decision. We are not making any new rules.
Yeah, but we made a decision as to where the money was going to be allocated, but we never made a decision as to which company, we never
Yeah.
made a decision as to
We're not
which
making
department.
we're not
Okay,
making
just-
company. That's why I didn't make a decision with
We're just
company.
Entonces, why?
Douglas, yo acabo de mencionar
Sí.
que el board anterior, como él bien dijo, habíamos dicho que cuando entrara el dinero se iba a alocar los
Which is
fondos para
separate.
ciertas
It's
cosas.
totally separate.
Espérate.
It's separate
Wait,
account.
Sin embargo, nunca se hizo una decisión respecto a qué compañía, ni qué alfombra, ni nada de eso. Y entonces, aquí no se va a tomar esa decisión. Aquí no existe un
We
board.
just
No existe un
Estamos
board.
prácticamente, según el DBPR, aquí no existe un board.
Nosotros lo que queremos es que se determine, y yo creo que a partir de ahí puede haber una buena continuidad de la reunión en la fecha de las nuevas elecciones. Eso es lo que estamos. Eso.
Okay. This is the last one before we move to continue.
Sí, lo que queremos es la fecha.
Supposed to be before August 25th,
Okay.
no?
Va a llegar ese.
Also, remember, Florida property has the security, has couple, the garden, the pool, everything. So everything combined to Florida property. On July 10, I issued warning letter. On July 24th, I issued another warning letter, and termination letters was basically, you are not gonna be renewed, and we are not gonna deal with you, and just make sure, make it clear. Whatever-
In the meantime, the time is coming up.
Whatever, let me finish, in the meantime, we need to look, whatever was gonna be in the board, we need to look for a company who can run the shows. We need to look for a company who can do the job, and that's something we have to do it as a community, as part of the new board.
Did we send anything with a receipt to them showing that we have issued that as a statement, we are not going to be renewing them?
Oh yes, and
So we have a copy of something that
yes.
shows?
Where is it?
I send an email and the board and everybody copied it.
I didn't get it.
Yes.
So resend it to me, you don't have that.
Yeah.
The letter saying termination.
Everybody was sent to it and they received it.
Did they respond?
They were basically, they don't respond and, I mean, they acknowledge.
Maybe we should send the same email in the certified mail.
Yes. No, I mean, they respond, they know about it, we have an incident, unfortunately, we have an incident, and Scarlett, by the way, just to let you know, guys, she's an amazing lady, she's doing fantastic job, and she is really on top of things, and we discover a lot of things that we didn't know about it before. And you can tell the place is getting a little bit better, cleaners, the cyber cafe is a little bit cleaners, the painting, all this. So I give her a lot of credit.
Is Tony still involved?
No, Tony is totally out, has nothing to do with this at all. So I'll be honest with you, I give her a lot of credit. I mean, she's been very supportive. A lot of residents acknowledge that, and I think it's fair for us to acknowledge that too. So she's been working a lot, and not only that, this lady over here issued about, I don't know how many warning letter to the cleaner people, to maintenance guys, that Vicente, all those guys have warning letters, like, for not doing the job. And not only that, we discovered this job has to be done in the house, and they're trying to say, oh, we cannot fix it, we need to bring somebody else. Unfortunately, we fix it. We fix it. So, and almost we put him on basically, you fix it or you're out of here. So I give her a lot of credit. Whatever company was gonna come, I would love for us to keep her because she's a really amazing person. As far as FPM, I requested from them, and I would like somebody to help me on that committee, whatever we need to do as far as all the official record, including the receiver, including the landscaping, and any company involved with them. I would like to have all the record also addressed. The last but not least,
I have a question about this because I don't know how this is going to proceed. Their contract is over in November, right?
You signed
No.
it, you didn't sign it for another 2 years.
No.
That's
They're
it.
not. They're not, guys. Remember, they're not. They're actually their contract will be terminated anytime we want to. It's not that, because what we did last time, it's up to us to terminate them anytime. So we have the power to terminate them today if we want to.
Do we have to pay a
But
fee
the
or
problem,
something?
remember, guys, no, that's the problem. The problem is, before we jump into the conclusion, we want to make sure we have somebody to replace them. The problem is, okay, we say we're gonna terminate them tomorrow. Who's gonna do the guards? Who's gonna do the gardening? Who's gonna do the pool? We have to be prepared also. We don't want to jump to more headache than what we are. I think wisely, we have to have a committee here. We'll come up with a company who can replace them as far as security. Because if we determine them now, they don't give a shit. They can walk away and then we'll be in the hole again.
Honestly, with the experience that we've had, and I've said this in the past, there's no management company that's ever going to be.
Can I
I
ask?
agree that we should try to go self-manage
But-
if it's possible.
If it's possible, it's possible, but you have to remember, we cannot be self-managed on security. We cannot be self-managed on the landscaping. We cannot be self-managed
I
I
on.
mean, there's a lot of security companies out there, and you.
I agree. That's what we need to do, but
They can ask for
we cannot terminate somebody if we don't have
The
replacement.
community's been told on many different occasions that we can't terminate the contract with this company because we'll be assessed money for fines.
No, that's not true. If you read the contract, last contract we extended, we have the right to terminate, and I said to William last meeting.
There's an addendum that says it's extended for 2 years after every May 31st.
If we
Last year
decide,
expired
No,
on May 31st, 2013, because it was not, you have to send a letter to 60 days. before
90
the-
days,
no, 60
90 days.
60 days before the termination. The letter was not sent on time, so it was extended for 2 years. The expiration of the contract is May 31st, 2015.
Guys,
That's the way it works. If you wanna sue them, that's different.
guys, I'm telling you.
It's not like, you
I'm
don't
telling
have
you.
like an open by the hour or
No,
something.
no,
like
no,
that.
the
Contract
problem
doesn't
is,
work like
they are into so much lack of customer service, and we have a lot of incidents.
that. No, the association have the power to terminate any
And we
time
can,
because of any
exactly,
violation.
and we have the power to terminate them with no problem, but the problem is, I wanna make sure we have somebody to replace them. I'm willing to do that, but I need somebody.
As a board member, have you already gone out and asked other management companies to come in for bids?
Yes, I started when I sent the second warning letters on July 24th. The second major warning letter came out when we have an incident in the office that one of the employees didn't show up. And unfortunately, she was on the side with the cooling tower issue, and I have the office one I attended for the whole, pretty much for whole 4 or 5 hours. And that was a breaking point for me.
When did we find out that we could terminate the contract? Because I understand you're saying right now, we read the contract and we're allowed to terminate it at any time. In the past, it's been discussed in these meetings that we cannot terminate the contract. If we do, we're gonna be assessed a fine. So my question for you is, when did that happen? And if that's the case, what is the time frame that we as residents should expect the board to move forward
There's
with
no
getting
board.
more bids?
Exactly.
I think we have, by law, and like what William said, if we have evidence of negligence and we have evidence of poor customer, we can terminate them, because we have also clause in the contract, if you read the contract also, we have the right to terminate.
So what I'm saying is, you already found these issues?
Yes,
Okay, so when is, I understand that legally and technically, maybe the board is not currently a board, okay? But as far as moving forward with getting a different company in here to manage, what do we do about that? Because
I would
don't
think
wanna
we need
procrastinate.
at least,
Everybody needs to
board.
work together.
we need to work together,
New
at
board.
least, new company, we need a new.
No necesitamos una compañía.
I think we can start doing
Before we do
some
anything
But
else,
the
we should
problem
have
is,
that in
folks,
place.
one at a time, guys.
Exactly, I'm trying
Okay,
to talk to you.
Guys, we're gonna do the election no matter what. It doesn't matter if we're gonna do it now or do it tomorrow, we're gonna do
for a
it.
second. Why we don't want to discuss about the election before we start making all those plans? Because you guys basically are
Early.
not the board
Okay.
at this point.
Okay, if we're gonna do the election has to be done by August 22nd. Okay, by August 22nd, we have to make sure, if we're gonna determine the new board, whatever is gonna be running, August 22nd will be the result. But, at the same time, the reason why I'm telling you this, we need to work from now. Doesn't matter who's gonna be running the board or not. We need to work from now to find.
But why you running by yourself, doing all
Well,
these
I'm not
things?
saying,
Because
I'm
you
talking
know
as a
the
resident.
board.
I'm talking as a resident.
Okay.
We
You're
need to
talking
make
about
sure.
board.
We
We
need to
as a
make sure,
board.
we say, whatever who's running the board, we need to find companies, or we need to find somebody to replace the existing company
Yes,
if
have
we
to.
decide to release them. Because you don't wanna wait till the last minute, and then you're gonna end up having more drama. It's enough what we have now. The reason why we need to work now,
I don't think it's the drama is the proper word. It's a situation involving the business.
I mean, you don't wanna have unsecure area. You wanna make sure you have security
But that's
guards.
not drama.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The DPR sent a warning letter saying that the association has to reply
By July
by
31st.
today. As the association.
Oh,
has
yes, it's been
contact-
replied, yes.
What was the date? So basically, that's what we wanted to know.
Actually, they asked, I spoke to the DPR, and they talked to me. I've been talking to the person, Tom, and whatever the lady also. I spoke to them, and I told them, the first place, when they contact me, I told them I wanna have election, new election, and I was
When?
also.
When? Dave.
Would anyone
That's it.
want a copy of the letter?
The letter?
The letter.
The letter from the DPR. Everybody has it?
Una-
So so we have the
I'm
response.
gonna tell you what the answer is to your question. The attorney today at 4:22 sent an email saying, what is the decision? I had sent my decision, I think about 2 weeks ago, and I told them, we need to proceed with the election. Nobody else had responded. Today at 4:22, everybody responded, and Arturo, are you there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I called Arturo and I said, you need to respond immediately, and everybody needs to respond, because we cannot delay this. Mohammed kind of wanted to wait for a new management company? And I said, no,
But that's not.
no.
No, I don't
We
wanna wait
board.
for, I wanna have third party run the show, that's it.
No, but that's what
No.
we want.
Yeah, that's what we
We're
want.
asking for
You don't-
6
you don't get
months.
copied in a
We're
lot of
talking
emails,
about
and I
6
noticed
months
that.
asking for
And
that.
Arturo
It didn't happen,
hasn't
so
been
it's not
copied.
gonna happen
I'm
next
not
tomorrow.
informed of this decision.
That's not gonna happen
This
by
is,
tomorrow.
you know, news to me.
That, we shouldn't even be discussing this because it's not gonna happen by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, the letter has to be sent out. We're facing $10,000 on
It's
fines.
been done. You
The
know,
letter was, that's what,
Okay.
that's what is so difficult to
Okay.
answer. The letter includes the date
Yeah.
of the
The
election.
election.
Yeah.
What is the election?
We
It's
need
gonna
the
be the 22nd?
22nd.
Okay, so.
it's gonna, yeah, it's
But-
gonna be 22nd.
Okay, that's it.
The only issue I have is to make sure I have somebody, third party, neutral person run the election. That's the only thing I wanna make sure,
Well, that's
because,
what
we all want.
That's what we
yeah,
all
Okay,
because I don't
how
want,
is this gonna work? Is FPM gonna
Yeah.
continue to send out
I don't want
ballots?
FPM, I don't want FPM to send anything,
So how
I
does
don't
it
want,
work?
that's what I'm trying to ask,
That was
the only question I
You
have.
can try the guy.
But that's the problem, the association, if the association decided the FPM is not gonna do it, the association has to do it themselves. I guess you guys are running the show right now, that's your responsibility.
Okay.
If the board decided, we're not gonna use them,
But we
so the
can
board should be doing this right now.
That's
And
why
say-
I'm here,
So
to
you have
ask you.
you have until tomorrow, I don't know, if the letter was not sent out, you had until
It's
tomorrow
already,
to
it's
send it
already
out.
been, the only thing.
August 1st, we're talking about a week.
Yeah,
We had like plenty of
no,
time to plan for this.
no, they say,
We
they,
shouldn't be waiting.
Scarlett,
I think by Wednesday, the letters has to
Probably
be
have
out.
the answer.
For
August
the,
1st.
Right?
no, for the
Scarlett.
election, for the election.
Scarlett, you're the acting building manager, correct? And you understand right now, we don't currently have a legal board.
According to the documents, I'm just finding this out today, that,
Just finding this out today.
yes, that,
Okay.
that the board is not.
I know that we've emailed back and forth, I know you're doing a great job, and I agree. But how did you just find out today?
Because the DPR, the final decision has to be done by the board and by the DPR.
Who's communicating with the DDPR from our board?
All of us, all the board members.
Has Scarlett been included on these emails?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry?
Has Scarlett been included on all the emails?
Scarlett is not included in a lot of emails.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
Scarlett
No,
should be included in every single email from this,
Yeah.
building, no matter what the conversation is about. Because right now, regardless if you're a
And
board member
another
or
thing, I don't know
not, she's the building
why,
manager.
I don't know why, Mohammed, and I will say this, and I think I asked you this. Why is Juliet from FPM being copied on every single email? Because she should. She should.
Okay, just to let you know,
This
just to
is
let you
something
know,
between the.
there's investigations happening now with DPR with 2 board members, and they have interview with the 2 board members. Those 2 board members, they will have one-on-one session with DPR. They
No,
have,
I already talked to the DB
okay, so that's something, I wasn't aware of it, I just find out myself
And
too.
it has to do with the election, and it has to do
Okay,
with FPM and Tony.
so certain people are involved in some kind of issues with the TBR, which disclose to some of the board members. So I really don't know what's going on, because what they ask me, I respond, and I support the election 100%.
I actually was the one who filed the complaint, and I had the copy of the response from the association to the DVPR.
Okay.
The association, the board, is not supporting the election. Actually, the association is submitting false information to DVPR
But
to be able to
under,
not.
under what name? Who's submitting the association?
Florida FMLaw. We
Mohammed?
submitted all the
Wait, what?
information. Yeah, all that false information is
Well,
just
they told
submitted
me,
by
they
her
told me,
client.
they told me today that they had
No,
affidavits.
just-
How much, the association, is the association paying for this, or is the lawyer working by himself and?
Let me tell you
I
something,
understand
let
what
me
is
tell you
the deal
something.
with him.
I make it clear last time, and we had discussion here, and he has it recorded. And I was standing over here, I told you I will support the election again, just I wanna make sure it's done correctly by DPR. Did I say that, yes or no?
No, what it matters is
But that's-
on
it's
what.
all-
Yeah, you
what's on
did
paper.
say it, but doing
Okay.
it's a different story.
You say
There are
something
false
here, but you
affidavits
do.
on
Okay,
paper, there
but
are
what I
false
said, what I said, I wanna make sure that DPR, I communicate with DPR. I've been talking to DPR, just to let you know, there's a lot of investigation is going on behind door right now. And I'll be honest with you, I went and I spoke to them, they say only 2 board members are right now into questioning. But that's something that's to do with DPR. I have nothing to do with it as far as the decision with DPR or not. but my support over here to make sure have clean elections, to make sure no fraud in it, and I don't want, as a resident, I'm not talking as a board, I don't want Florida property to do anything with the election. I don't want, as a resident, I'm not talking as a board, I have my rights like everybody else. I don't want Florida property to do the elections. So either work together and find a company, third neutral person, or do it ourselves. We have to do it correctly, honestly, without any mistakes.
Mohammed, with all due respect, you speak with the manager of the building every day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every day, you're on top of that.
Yes.
So my question for you, with all due respect, how come we're sitting here playing around with carpets and stuff, but our manager has no idea about what's going on with the
Okay,
election?
first of all, you
The
come in late,
DVPR.
you don't know what we were talking about earlier.
I understand the
Okay.
insurance and I understand the carpets.
Okay,
Okay.
what's your question exactly?
My question is, how come our manager of the building has not been informed about this? If you've been working on it, then it's something that she should
Because
have been
it's
involved
under
with the whole time.
investigation. I cannot release the
Mohammed is not
information.
what.
Why you cannot release
You
it?
have to be FPM.
Okay, guys, just to make it clear,
You're the only one yelling right now, by the way.
just to let you know, I got a call from DPR, 2 people board under investigation. And I will release the name, I have no problem with that.
What does it have to do with the manager
Because-
knowing or not knowing?
Because I cannot release the information because I don't have the answer yet.
We're not asking you to release the information about that. My question was, how come if the board is currently illegitimate and we're supposed to be running a new election and you've been speaking back and forth with the DPPR, the lady that's sitting right next to you that's supposed to manage the entire complex has no idea about this? How come she is not privy to that information? Why are you keeping that secretive from our building manager?
We are not
She's the
keeping
day-to-day
anybody's
manager of the
secret.
building, not you.
We're not keeping anybody's secret.
She
We are not-
just said up until today she had no idea what was going on.
She doesn't know the final answer for these things, but she knows we're going through back and forth for the election, but she doesn't know the detail of the DPR letters. That's the only thing.
Just say no.
Hey, let me
You just say you don't know anything.
Scrub, do you know about what's going on?
About the elections, that's
Permiso.
something new to me, but I'm
Permiso.
getting informed at this moment.
I don't understand what's happening here. Look, I know that you guys are putting a lot of effort in. Mohammed, I'm sure you're doing a lot of effort. You know, I'm not trying to take that away from you or be disrespectful. I'm just trying to figure out where the priorities are. Are the priorities at all with making the board legitimate, or are they fixing carpets and catching, you know, maintenance guys? I understand that those are equally important, and we don't want the building to fall apart. You guys all know that I'm emailing constantly, showing you guys pictures. Here's walls that were compounded but were never sanded and never painted. I send these every week. I send you guys pictures from outside of all the ripped up lounge chairs. I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't concentrate on that stuff. But we have illegal things that have gone on here, and I don't see anything that's getting fixed. I just see a lot of procrastinating.
I think the first step for us is to run the elections with,
Why are we waiting until August 22nd?
because it's not like you or I can decide that. The DPR set a date, August 22nd, we have to follow that.
So it's their decision.
We need the date.
Before 22nd.
I want to do it.
If it has to be by August 22nd,
The result has to be done by August 22nd.
so how come we're not running the elections on August 1st?
One at a
Because
time.
this is only this being done on July 20, like 2 days ago. We just find out 2 days ago.
Okay, so if we found out 2 days ago, how come we're waiting until August 22nd to finish that up?
Because by law, we have to respond by July 31st. And July 31st is the date.
Mohammed, it says exactly, for no later than Friday, August 22nd. That's right.
And the letter was sent on July
So that means
23rd.
anytime before.
It means it can be done tomorrow.
The letter can be out by Monday.
So being that you're the acting president right now, why don't you call for an election for next week?
That's what we did. That's what we're trying to
But
say.
you're calling for it for August 22nd, which is
You
4
have
weeks
to,
away from now.
okay, but the problem is, Adam, I think you forgot you being part of the board. You have to
I
send
have.
the letters to
Oh,
all
wait,
the
it says,
residents.
this is exactly what
So
you're
that's,
asking.
yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
So
By
August
Monday.
15th.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to say.
Adam, let me read to you this paragraph. It says, the association shall prepare a second notice of the election scheduling a new 2014 election for no later than Friday, August 22nd, 2014, and provide the division with a copy of the second notice by no later than Wednesday, July the 31st, 2014. The division will review the second notice to ensure that it is in compliance with the Condominium Act. Once it is approved by the division, the association shall
Exactly
mail
what I
or
said.
hand deliver to each unit owner the second notice of the election and ballot by no later than Thursday, August 5th, 2014, and provide the division with a copy of the affidavit of mailing or U.S. Postal Service certificate.
So
You
by
have to
August
start.
5th, we need to have these mailed out as the second notice
August,
to our.
Thursday, August 5th, next
The
week.
second notice has to be mailed out by August 5th.
That's what
Where's the first one?
What we
Remember-
wanna see is a copy of the letter
Remember-
that's gonna be sent out today.
Remember, guys,
And they had until next week
So you
to
said-
actually mail it out.
So you actually sent a letter out today to the
Correct.
DBPR showing
But who is
what it's
sending
gonna look like. Wait, what office?
Which office?
Our building manager.
Why
didn't
don't
do
has
that?
to do it.
She doesn't know, she doesn't know
Because the
about
attorney
that.
has to
Who
respond
sent
to
it?
the DPR. That's normal procedure to
No,
everybody
who
else.
sent
She
it?
don't know about the
Who
case.
sent it?
How?
Because this is happening today.
No,
No,
that's
Letter-
that's happening in July 24th.
Copy of the letter?
Yeah.
The attorney sent it 2 days ago.
The
The attorney sent it 2 days ago to us.
We
And
just
this letter
been
was
served
issued
2
today.
days ago.
Who sent it?
DPR sent it to us 2
Es
days ago.
necesario.
No,
Send
not
the
the DPR,
answer.
the attorney's
One
office.
answer.
The answer, it was supposed to be sent it today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Today,
First notice.
issued the first.
And sent.
The first notice, okay.
And he says
Okay.
they send it. Who
So
sent it? We
that's
don't
my
know
question.
because
Who
she
sent
doesn't.
it? The first
She
notice
doesn't
was
know.
supposed to be sent it today.
I didn't have any dates, I just, saw
So
that.
who sent the
She
letter?
didn't send it clearly because
The
she just
F-
getting
the
notice today.
office of FPM has to respond to DPR because the issue was sent to the FPM. The FPM office has
But
to.
you have to understand,
They contact
FN Law has a different agenda. FN Law wants to fight it. And that's what they're.
That's why I say no.
They-
That's why I say no.
I have the
That's why
response.
she said
Actually, I'm
no.
gonna send it to you. Actually,
Did I
most of
say
the
no?
people I've seen
Did
it,
you say
I
no?
posted it on
Everybody said no
Facebook.
today at
We
4:22.
say no.
Mohammed,
They want to extend it. We say no.
Let me explain something to you. There is a conflict of interest
Yep.
between.
That's why we say
Wait,
no.
let me finish. I haven't spoken anything yet. There is a big conflict of interest of the lawyers you guys have right now with all of us, including you and everybody, because
You have this?
right now there is a criminal
This is actually
issue
the
going on.
response to
When
an
there's a
allegation
criminal
about
issue,
the
when it's a criminal issue, it means that DPPR is not communicating with us. The DPPR after the thing was, it's communicating with the law firm. Now, the law firm waited 4 days after they got the letter
To send it.
to send it to the board, okay? The DPPR only gave 1 week to do this election thing, the answer.
Just one letter.
Okay, but even if we all, okay, don't want to delay the election, guess who is in control right now? The law firm.
That's why we
But
say
it's
no.
not, because the law
Unless
firm,
you fire,
actually
I
a
say
law
no.
firm,
unless you send.
you have to understand one thing.
Yes,
The
but
lawyer,
unless you fire them,
you
or
can fire
tell
them the same day, you had a
or
contract,
you
there's no
tell-
contract with law firms.
unless you tell the DPPR that we do not want those people to represent
Exactly.
us, because
But that was
I
they
said.
can go
That's
behind
what we
your back.
said.
They can go behind
They
your back
call
and
me.
your back, and because they gave him until today, if you read the letter correctly,
No, but we
it
need a
gives
letter.
them
We
until
need to see a
today
copy
to
of a
do a
letter.
response for a delay.
Listen, guys.
And I bet
I got a call from DPR. I will tell you that what I got a call from DPR.
With all
They
due
asked
respect,
me.
Mohammed, we need to say something.
Actually, this letter wasn't sent to FN Law. This letter was sent to FN Law, the association, and Michael
No,
Ross.
I understand that.
So you guys have a copy, you guys knew you had to answer,
I
and you
never
have not
received
done
this,
it. So
and I
that's,
have
never
proof
received
there.
this.
I never
that's the
received
problem,
this.
because you guys
You're not on
gave the
file.
power to them since day one.
Exactly.
So that's what we've been trying to fight from the beginning. We should be we should be in control of our records and of our decisions. And the association, for 5 years, has done the opposite. We've been like, oh, town is not answering. FN Law is hiding the records. FN Law is not paying the bills. But that's the problem. The association made that decision. We're gonna just let them run the show, and we're just gonna complain and cry. And I don't think that was the right thing. Right now, since you are siding with our side, saying, okay, they're doing something that wrong, and we're gonna try to change them. But what are you been doing? Just sending out a letter saying we're gonna replace it, I don't think that was the right thing to do, because now I don't know what they're doing, because they're expecting to fight you. And the other thing is, like, if you really wanna be in control, you should be the one answering to the DPR, not waiting for them
I
to,
answered
maybe what they're doing, if they reply
Actually-
with this information, I'm pretty sure the letter that was sent out today was saying, no, we don't agree with the election.
Absolutely not.
We're gonna get a copy of that next week.
And they're gonna find out.
But you don't know.
You know
Because
why? Because
You
I
don't know.
spoke to,
You
I
don't know.
spoke
You,
to the.
do you know about this?
Listen,
This is on the name of
if,
the association.
actually, if they do the opposite of what we told them,
Solo una. No, la carta es la de
absolutely, I correct you on this one, William. Because I was totally, from day one, against it.
Were you copying this?
You know what, it doesn't even matter, we shouldn't be going back and forth about this. The problem here isn't even that, the problem is here that we're not doing anything about it.
That's what I want.
I don't even care who's showing what and anything.
Exactly.
We should be fixing the problem, but who's fixing the problem?
But can we
By
find
saying
out?
my question is, the association was copying this to come
Okay.
forward.
Do you see my?
Did you receive?
No, I don't.
But it's gonna be in
But why
there.
he's taking the decision, so basically.
He's not taking the decision. The decision is, I got a call 2 days ago.
Mohamed, Liliana, por favor, Liliana, porque quiero que...
Mohammed,
sorry,
did you sign your name? This has nothing to do with you. Did you sign your name on the paperwork to do the new corporate officers, or did FM sign your name on it?
No, I did not sign.
Did you give them permission directly to sign your name on it?
Absolutely
It's
not.
fraud.
Oh my God, wait, you didn't sign for the?
I did not sign for the renewal for the business bureau, yes.
No, not the business bureau, not the business bureau. There was a change of directors, which is submitted to Sunbiz, the Division of Corporations, every single time we
Yes,
switch
I did
hands.
that. I did.
You signed your own name on that?
Yes, I
It was
did.
electronically done.
I did that because I got the authorization, I
Just
did
told
that.
them you didn't do it.
No, I'm talking about, the only thing I didn't do yet, and I didn't change it yet, and the only person who's in that account is John in the bank account.
I just wanna know if FM Law Group fraudulently signed your name without you knowing about it on the corporate officer document for the Division of Corporations.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Actually, you can check it, but no.
No, you can't because it's
It's
electronic.
electronic.
You signed it or not? Yes
You
or
just
no?
have to say I got permission from this person. I just wanna know if they did it or not.
No, but you get the copy.
As far as I know, we are under the mercy of that law group
Mohamed,
Seriously,
Liliana, por favor.
that they can actually
Mohamed,
tell you one thing on one
¿por
side
qué nosotros?
and reply legally with something
I know
else
that for
to
2
delay.
years. I don't know why it takes them
Right.
for them 2 years to find out.
William, I just took over.
You've been here for 5 years. You've been here for 5
She
years.
was running the show. You talked to her.
You don't have two personalities. You were not different 2 months ago. You were the same person. You were in the board 5 months ago. You're in the board today. So it's not like
And
you're
you're
something
an owner,
new.
you're an owner, we're an owner, we're not in the board, but we're abreast of what's happening, so you should be abreast, especially wanting to be the president.
Mohamed, Liliana, ¿por qué nosotros, los dueños, los residentes, no,
Hold on.
por qué nosotros los dueños, los residentes
Why
acá,
us, the
no
owners,
tomamos la decisión de una fecha? ¿Por qué digo esto?
Make
Le-
the decision of a date.
Le tememos a FMLaw. ¿Por qué? Porque puede venir con alguna patraña.
FM law, because they can come over and try to do something.
Listen, that's
Por eso
what we
es
need them
importante
out.
determinar hoy la fecha.
So that's why
Hoy,
today.
today.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. We need to determine,
Pero-
and we need to find third
No.
party.
No, pero determinar la fecha, sí. No, tú puedes pedir un monitor.
Also, there is another problem. We need to have another meeting. Because if you look at the conditions of the DPPR, if you do not announce who is behind and give them a chance to re-elect, then they can re-elect. Basically, what the DPPR is ordering is that we have a public meeting and announce the name of every single person who is behind, who is not paying their dues as everybody else, okay, in front of everybody, and sending them a certified letter saying that they have the choice of either paying or they cannot vote. And if you don't do this, then you're gonna have at least the majority of people who do not pay will. That's the whole fight was. The whole fight is, that in the elections there were people who were set
But that cannot
aside.
be
blah, blah,
done.
blah.
That cannot be done because we don't have a board. So right now, we shouldn't even be talking
That's
about
not-
it.
Well,
It's
no,
not gonna
not technically, not technically.
No, the DPR, the third
No,
person
but it
can
has to be
determine
voted
that.
by the board. There's no board, so they
So
cannot
to
be
be
voted for.
to be
So
They can be voted by all the unit
yeah,
owners.
they
It's not about being fair.
they knew about it for
correct thing.
4 years. Actually, the first complaint they got was 2010, and they covered up with papers in other associations. Here, they know for this forever on every association, but they just decided to lie. I don't know how it works, but I know that they lie on the monitor. They lied to everybody saying, no, this is the law and this is what we're gonna do, but it was not
Well,
true.
my
But he
question
knew.
is-
He knew from the beginning that he
My
was-
question is, how many people are involved in that delinquency that do have the right to vote or not have the right to
Well,
vote?
let me answer that.
What's the number? How many are we talking? 2, 3,
Well, in our-
50 and 100?
In our election, I believe the number was